Roman Emperor Valerian demanded the execution of all Christian deacons, priests, and bishops. During the persecution, an official came to St. Lawrence, who was in charge of the treasury. The official demanded Lawrence give him the treasures of the church within 3 days. When the official returned, Lawrence actually fulfilled the request, but in a surprising way that shocked everyone. Rome, August 6, 258 AD. Pope Sixtus II, the 24th successor of St. Peter, is secretly celebrating Mass in the catacombs of St. Calixtus. While the liturgy is still proceeding, Roman officials find him and take him away. As he's led away, one of his deacons, Lawrence, follows after him. "Father, where are you going without your deacon?" Sixtus turns to him. "I'm not leaving you, my son. Your time will come." Shortly after, Sixtus meets the same fate as almost all of the first 30 popes: martyrdom. But this time it was different. Pope Sixtus was killed by order of Emperor Valerian. The emperor was becoming desperate. He was fighting wars on several fronts, the most formidable of which were the Persians in the east. At this time of pressure and fear, the emperor turned toward a common target of persecution: Christians. He ordered the immediate execution of all deacons, priests, and bishops. Among his many victims was Saint Cyprian of Carthage, a doctor of the church. It is in this climate that the 32-year-old deacon named Lawrence is confronted by a Roman official. But Lawrence is no ordinary deacon. He is the archdeacon of Rome. He oversaw the other 6 deacons of the city, plus he administered church finances and distributed aid to the poor. Emperor Valerian had ordered the execution of church leaders and the confiscation of their goods. "By order of the emperor," said the Roman guard, "we demand you bring us the treasures of the church." Lawrence did not resist. Instead, he asked for time. 3 days. In the streets of Rome, Lawrence was known not for power, but for where he could be found: among the poor, the sick, the forgotten. The church entrusted its goods to 7 deacons. Among them, Lawrence held the chief responsibility. What passed through his hands did not remain there for long. And now, knowing that the persecution was spreading and that nothing would be spared, Lawrence began to act. Over the next 3 days, he moved quickly through the city, distributing the church's goods to the poor. All of this led to the current situation. The 3 days were up, and the Roman officials had returned and approached Lawrence. Lawrence was surrounded by dozens of people, particularly the blind, the crippled, and the poor. Gesturing to the large crowd, Lawrence declared, "Here are the treasures of the church." To Lawrence, who saw the world through God's eyes, the real treasures were not the buildings, the artwork, or the various objects of precious metal. To Lawrence, the real treasures were the people, whose value was not based on ability, health, or wealth, but rather on the fact that they were created and loved by God. And because God loved them, so did Lawrence. As Jesus said, "Do not lay up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust consume and where thieves break in and steal, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consumes and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also." Lawrence wasn't being clever. He was showing where his heart really was. Of course, the official was enraged by Lawrence's answer and immediately ordered that Lawrence be executed. To the official, this was the end of Lawrence. He would never be heard from again. But Lawrence regarded himself simply as a pilgrim on this earth. His true home was with his Savior, Jesus Christ, in heaven. His detachment from the things of the earth is most clearly demonstrated by the manner of his death. While being brutally executed on a large iron grill, rather than curse his executioners or renounce his faith, he made light of the situation, saying, "I'm done on that side. Turn me over." Lawrence had completely detached himself from this life. His executioners thought that by killing him, this would be his end. Yet so remarkable was the life of Lawrence that he was immediately venerated by the early church, and still to this day, almost 1800 years later, Christians recite the name of this holy martyr daily at the altar in the Roman canon of the Mass. And Emperor Valerian? Shortly after his persecution of Christians throughout Rome, he became the first emperor ever taken captive. Persian King Shapur I won a major battle in the city of Edessa and captured the emperor. He used Valerian as a literal footstool, and the emperor later died in captivity. Many writers saw this extraordinary humiliation as divine retribution. Lawrence, like Christ, did not see the weak, the sick, and the hurt as worthless, but as what they truly are: treasures.